Welcome to That 80s Show. Dori, I've done something so right in the parenting world. Starting off there.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. Starting off there, Matthew Wilder, Break My Stride. My daughter says to me, 12 years old, now 12 years old, they're taste makers. They are music taste makers. She says to me, you know what? I think not only is this my favorite 80s song, I think this is my favorite song.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow.
That is
a one-hit wonder from your one-hit wonder.
That's what I'm saying. That song does irritate me, though, because he does this thing. Have you ever seen Matthew Wilder? What does he look like?
I seem to remember that he had a mustache, but I might be wrong.
80s, safe to say.
I think he had like reddish brown hair. I might be completely wrong. This is going off what's in my brain right now, which is never reliable, by the way.
Okay.
But I have a funny story about that song. When I joined Voice of It's campus radio back in the day, and I was given a show, and of course everything was vinyl back then, and that was literally the first song that I played on my first show. But when I put it on, the record thing was on the wrong speed.
Okay, but now listen, right? Did you notice that's...
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm going to go do the research, though, because that version we played there sounded very slow. It sounds slow. I wonder if you're not the only one that's ever done that.
I don't know, because it starts, like, I remember it started really slowly.
Oh, you went the other way.
And then, and then I changed the speed and then it sounded normal.
Oh, you went the other way. No, I'm saying that version I played sounded very slow because I'm sure there's a faster version. But like just slightly, we're talking RPMs, guys. We're talking RPMs.
Yeah, for the older folk, the younger folk can switch off.
What did I see the other day?
Although,
yes,
the younger folk are playing vinyl now, so...
Yes, the little fuckers that are playing vinyl and making vinyl very expensive for people like me to buy vinyl. Right. So what he does in that song, he does that thing that irritates me. He tells me about his dream. He says, last night I had the strangest dream. I was on the way on a rowboat to China. I hate it when people tell me about their dreams. What a waste of time. I mean, I care so little about like people's actual day-to-day life. Now you're going to tell me about your dream. I'm like, for fuck sakes.
Oh, come on. Like, it's just a song. Don't take it so seriously.
No, it's not the song. It's people telling about their dreams. That's
okay.
That's what bothers me. What bothers me.
I will remember that and never do that.
The cool thing about doing a nostalgia show is that we're actually never out of date with our stories. Our stories are always current, right?
Right.
Except.
Oh, dear.
Except
last week.
So last week, Dori recommends we must watch Who's the Boss. Coming up a little bit later, we've got movie and TV show recommendations. Dori recommends we've got to watch Who's the Boss. And that's awesome. And what prompted her is that on our show WhatsApp group, Barrett shared out a Who's the Boss reunion. Now, I had seen this video, or I'd seen the WhatsApp message. I didn't watch the video. So I didn't know how old it was. And if I had, I would have said, but hold on, Dori, I've noticed something that has aged this. So the reunion actually didn't happen recently, happened in 2016.
Yeah.
In which time the lady who played Mona has passed away. Right.
I just want to clarify that link that Barrett sent was literally posted on YouTube a month ago. So it was like here's something from the archives, but I, of course, didn't read that part. I just saw, this is a recent video. Cool. I did not know that Mona had left us.
So you're telling me that the internet has lied. Okay, that's unbelievable. So
unbelievable at first.
Right. But anyway, so it was from 2016, this reunion. Listen, story stands. You got to watch Who's the Boss, right? And this week I've actually been going out finding a few clips, right? But can I give you the latest up-to-date Who's the Boss cast-related news? In the story that you posted, Alyssa Milano hadn't even fed her child goat milk from her breast.
Oh, no.
Right?
Wow.
That's how out of date you were, Dori. So anyway, this story published 1st of November, right? When was that? Tuesday this week, Dori. Up to the date, Tony Danza will show us who's the boss on stage at New Bedford's Zeiterion. Oh boy.
What's that?
Tony Danza does a one-man show. He's doing this one-man show one night only, because Tony Danza, we said he's gone and done a lot of things. Yes, he's done TV. He's done a lot of Broadway. He's done heaps of Broadway. Okay. And now he does the show, one night only, appearance at the Zeiterion Performing Arts Center in New Bedford, New York, New Jersey. I assume it's there. And it's a one-man show where he talks about his time, tells jokes. He's from the area. His dad was a garbage man. He started out as a boxer, then became an actor, then went on Broadway. He sings a couple of songs, like he says, from the Great American Songbook. So he's doing like Frank Sinatra type stuff here, right? And it's on Friday. It's today. It happens today, 8 p.m. in New Bedford, in New Jersey. And that is up-to-date Tony Danza news. And this article that I got you, and I'm going to share on that 80 Show essay Facebook page, you can actually hear an episode or an interview with Tony Danza. But I got to warn you, can I play you a quick little bit? Do you want to hear two of the most New York sounding people ever?
Yes, always.
Take a listen to this. Take a listen right here.
I don't believe this. I don't believe this. Tony Danza. First of all, good morning. What a pleasure to have you with us here on the morning show.
Thank you very much. But I can't get over Phil Paleologus. I love it.
I mean, come on. That is, hey, yo, oh, wait, hey, yo.
It's like a parody, right?
I know, that is so great. 1420 WBSM, New Bedford's new talk station. That's where that's from. I might be listening more to that because the article that follows on their webpage, the worst 80s movies, which is like, I'm all over that. And there's some beauty.
And they'll be our best ones, right? Well, your best ones for sure.
Right.
Maybe some of mine.
No, there's some beauty here. I've recommended, of the 20, I've recommended 10. So that is up to the date Tony Danza news. Dori, now you know.
Awesome.
And one of the things I also wanted to check into, because I couldn't remember.
Okay, before we do that, can I just point out that in the past we have always killed people prematurely, and this time we brought someone back from the dead. So we are changing our ways.
Oh, yes, that is true. That is true. Or we disrespected their memory by not. But either way. One of the questions that I had about who's the boss we never discussed last week is, did Tony, or what was he, Tony Michelli? Tony, something like that.
Manelli?
Tony Maselli. I think it was Tony Maselli. Tony Maselli. Did him and Angela, Judith Light character, actually ever end up together, getting married?
It's heavily implied that they end up together.
So what I read is that they do end up acknowledging that, okay, they like each other. Okay, there's a thing, there's feelings, but they never actually got married because the network felt it's going to kill syndication. Because if you know how it ends and all leads up to that, people just aren't going to syndicate, which is wrong. I mean, watch Friends ad nauseum, right?
It's Tony Maselli, by the way, just checked.
Tony Maselli. All right. So that, up to the date, who's the boss news. That's what I'm all about. Dori, you've not watched the show, but it's one of my favorite shows, Acapulco, on Apple TV. Yeah. Really cool show, set in the 80s in New Mexico at a resort called Las Colinas. It is, what a romp it is. My favorite things about it is, okay, so firstly, the episodes, the location is gloriously pink, checkered floors all over the place. It is like 80s gauche, 80s gauche all over the place. Another really cool thing that they do is they name each episode after an 80s song. So even just season 2 alone, Break My Stride, Hit Me With Your Best Shot, Glory Days, Love Is a Battlefield. Nice. That's what they do. And the whole season 1 as well. There is multiverse Paulo and Dori, because there are the Las Colinas band who sing like classic 80s songs, but in Spanish, right? played Eye of the Tiger. Go back. It's in our feed. You'll find that show. Maybe we'll post up the link to that show where we played some of the songs. But fantastic. So this season starts off, back into it. So Dori, I took a very bad photo off the TV, right? They bring in a character. He's a once-off character, right? Take a look at that guy. I'll put a better photo up on that 80 Show SA Facebook page. Look who they've brought in.
It's Andre Agassi, right?
Right. His name is, I got to remember the first name. It sounded like Andre Azaro. Okay. So he is Andre Agassi, right? That they've brought into this Las Colinas world with all the things that go with Andre Agassi. So you see there the brightly colored clothes, a little bit flashy, the headband, but most importantly, Dori, the hair, the mullet.
Yes.
And not to ruin the show, but if you know Andre Agassi and you know the story about the mullet, they play that in. So this Agassi composite character suffers from the same affliction the real Andre Agassi suffered from, and he treats it the same way, right? And this is kind of like the whole plot point. Now, Dori, we know that what that is. If, in case you don't know, been living under a rock, what was the implication on Andre Agassi?
He went bald.
He went bald. And not only that, his hair was a wig.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was a wig. It was a hairpiece.
Oh my God. How am I only finding this out right now?
No, but so it was a hairpiece. So there's a couple of things. So firstly, they say the whole thing was a hairpiece, or they say he had another one that it was actually just the mullet sewn into a cap. You didn't know.
I did not know this.
What are you talking about?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
How did you not know? Andre Agassi?
What in the Billy Ray Cyrus is going on right now?
No ways. You did not know Andre Agassi wears.
I did not know this.
This is unbelievable. Stop the horlosie. You did not know Andre Agassi allegedly wore a hairpiece. Now, why I say allegedly?
No.
Let me tell you why I say allegedly, right?
Okay.
So I read his book when his autobiography came out. I read it. It's actually quite sad. It actually phenomenal insight, because Andre Agassi, for all the flash, was severely depressed. Hated tennis. He was seriously depressed to the point where you actually, by the end of the book, you're just like, oh wow, that was a miserable. He's quite miserable, actually. He's not at all what I expected him to be like, right?
Oh.
Quite disappointing. Actually, you know that Harry, the Prince Harry, what do they call him? Harry, Meghan's Harry, that Harry.
Oh, the Spare.
The Spare. His new book is ghost written by the same guy who wrote Andre Agassi's book.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So.
Okay.
But yeah, by the end of that Andre Agassi autobiography, even halfway, you're like, oh my God, you are such a fucking down.
Oh no.
It's terrible. It's like there's no fun, there's no humor, there is nothing. Because you're kind of going, surely you had some fun. Like I know like you had like mental health issues, and I can totally appreciate that, but surely you had some fun. No fun. Never any fun. So don't. If you have an aura of Andre Agassi in your head, don't read his book. It'll ruin it for you. But
that's sad.
Anyway, an image
the sad millionaire, whatever he was.
Yeah.
Shame.
And now him and Steffi Graf share. They're so in love because of how much they hate tennis. So she still plays. Right. Steffi Graf still plays, and their kid naturally is like on the circuit. That could be the next big thing. But he hates playing. He doesn't play anymore. Like he hates tennis. How outrageous is that? But anyway, a photo emerges. Have we spoken about Reddit and what a weird place it is?
We might have.
Okay. Have you ever been on Reddit?
I have. It sucks the life out of me though. Like I try to avoid going on because I will never leave.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, actually.
It's such a weird place.
Yeah.
A photo has emerged of a 16-year-old Andre Agassi. Dori, I want you to click that link. It's on that 80 Show SA Facebook page right now. This is 16-year-old Andre Agassi blow drying his hair. I assume this is before he started losing it. There
Okay,
is.
before we talk about the hair, can we talk about the tight white pants?
Well, I mean, we know the hair. We've seen the hair. We're familiar with the hair. He is wearing the tightest white jeans this side of 1986. Then he's got this like faded checked shirt, but billowy 80s style checked shirt.
Yeah.
And there he is, combing his hair. Like, he's 16, so I assume he's not started losing his hair yet. Although there are some very interesting looking products on the bathroom counter. Could be he could have noticed. He could have started losing his hair then.
I mean, if I look at that reflection in the mirror, his hair looks significant.
Yeah.
It looks like it's there. Yeah.
Listen, my hair looked significant at 16. It looked like it was there. By 18, it was gone. I'm telling you.
Oh, dude.
It seems like Andre Agassi suffered the same affliction of me. We had all our hair. All.
And then no hair.
None. We had a lifetime supply by 17. And then, okay, you've had enough. Bye-bye.
Okay, I only met you after you lost your hair. I need to see a photo of you with hair. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, it's like seeing a Smurf without a hat, except reverse. So that is Andre Agassi. One of the comments here, because it's Reddit, says he would go on to win this event in 1988, by which time he was already abusing his head with performance-enhancing hair pieces.
Oh my God.
Fuck off. Stop making fun of Andre Agassi. Mensch, he was a hero.
So was it fake hair? Was it not fake hair?
Here's the thing in his autobiography, right? He never addresses it. He never comes out and says what it was. He's never said what it was. He's let people speculate. He goes, all he says is that it wasn't as big a deal. It wasn't as big a hairpiece as people made it out to be. And it wasn't as big a deal as people made it out to be. So I think the thing, because he had so much hair, he could have been losing it for a while, because he shows up like when he won Wimbledon, he had it. And then kind of a little after that, he started showing up with the shaved head. So I think I don't think he wore a hairpiece. I think it was a nasty rumor, because if you look at some older photos of his, as a man who's lost his hair, you know what he's disguising. You can see it. There's a lot of combing over going on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he works in a profession where he can wear a hat to work. So, so most of the time he's covering it up, and then every now and again he just needs somebody just to, just do something and probably sew a little hairpiece on there, whatever. But he's never addressed exactly what it was. Either way, performance-enhancing hairpieces. And good for him. He got Steffi Graf. He got all the majors.
I don't care. I'm not a sports fan, but I used to watch Andre Agassi play tennis. I did. For personal reasons that I will not discuss right now. But, it's fine. It's all fine.
Same as me. I loved Andre Agassi so much that I thought I liked tennis. And then when he stopped playing, I was like, I don't actually like tennis. I hate tennis.
Exactly.
It's really stupid. But I loved him that much. I convinced myself.
I did used to watch John McEnroe because I used to enjoy the tantrums. So,
violence.
But again, not the tennis, just the tantrums.
Exactly, the violence. So, and then I always worry every week. We're going to get into our movies. I always worry every week, have we run out of 80 show content? Like, what are we going to put together this week? I can't find anything. The 80 show... There must be an algorithm in our computers by now that kind of just goes and finds 80s stuff. And it's not fancy. It looks like Turtle. Remember Turtle we used to do in school? It looks like Turtle. And it kind of just points that little triangle to articles. Because Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell have provided. Oh boy, and have they provided. So they've got a new movie coming out called Spirited. Kind of like a take on Charles Dickens' The Christmas Carol.
Okay.
Right. And there's been a couple of allegations, stories coming out going, it's not really them singing, they lip syncing. So they make a video to address the lip syncing. We're going to play it right now, Dori. I want you to click play. I can't even. Just click play.
Will and I are so excited for you to see our movie musical, Spirited. Now, we want to dispel the rumors that we didn't do all the singing ourselves. This is 100% pure Ryan and Will here.
Hold on a second.
Sorry, Ryan. It's been a long time since I've done this.
No.
Hey. Hey.
I am literally speechless.
I was so happy when I found that. I was like, please don't let Dori find this before Friday. Please.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So that video also we've put, so all our stuff we've put up, you can have a watch along experience right now, all on that 80 Show SA Facebook page and on Instagram. What they have done is in this video, you could obviously hear that's not them, but the voice of the person, now it's shown straight away because they look at the microphone and his name's on it, to the walkie-talkie. But Dori, who is that? That other man who's doing the voices?
It's a Milli or a Vanilli.
It's Rob. It's Rob from Milli Vanilli.
Okay, so, oh my God, so much to unpack here. Okay, so I mean, obviously, yes, you're going to poke fun of the thing that happened to you. There's been enough time, blah, 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 etc. But at the same time, this is the thing that killed the other Vanilli, the Milli or the Vanilli. Like, this is the thing that killed him.
No.
Like, it feels too soon, Paulo. It's too soon.
No, I'll not do that. Dori, he fell off a trampoline and then he was taking lots of painkillers. That's probably what killed him.
No, but the whole embarrassment of everything that happened did not help the situation.
No, well done for him. Must be so cathartic. I'm glad he did it.
It's very funny. Oh my God.
That is so good. Just having old Rob.
3 people who are so able to poke fun at themselves. It's actually amazing.
I know. That is absolutely unreal. So good to see Rob.
That is so beautiful. But now again, another reason I have to get Apple TV at some point, because it's Apple TV again.
Hey, listen.
Can they just sponsor our show now?
They should.
And give me free Apple TV.
Oh, there's no such thing because oh my word, did they just increase their prices? Oh my God. Oh. Or,
you know, the thing is, I would get Apple TV, but my TV's too old. It can't get Apple TV. And I hate watching stuff on my laptop, so I would have to get a new TV and then get Apple TV. I just can't afford it. Right?
Why don't you buy a 40,000 Rand iPhone 14 or a 60,000 Rand MacBook and then you get Apple TV for free for a year, Dori?
Oh, wow. It's so worth it. Yes.
No, it is because they have ramped up their pricing. It's probably better. We've done Tony Danza. Jeez, this is like 80s bingo. Tony Danza, Andre Agassi, Rob from Milli Vanilli. Let's get into it. Movie recommendations for the kiddies. What's going on?
Okay, I'm going to make mine so quick because I can't wait to hear about yours. My movie, remember when you sent me that YouTube playlist? You had discovered this YouTube playlist of 80s movies, and most of them are just D-grade horror. Literally.
Yes.
And you've been doing movies from this list, and when you sent it to me, I was like, oh my God, there's so much crap on here. But I noticed one movie that I had totally forgotten about that I loved when I was a kid. And I was like, going to definitely do that. I was like hoping you wouldn't do it. I don't think you did I don't think you are planning to do it. Too late now because I'm about to do it. And it's a thing of beauty. And I was worried because I watched this movie when I was probably 13 years old and loved it so much. And then I was like, oh God, it's going to be one of those where you watch it and you're older and, the memory of what it was, blah, blah, blah. No, it is still as great as I remember it. And my kid watched it with me and loved it. So, Paulo, your kid might be a little bit too young because there are some naughty bits in this movie. But it is a movie that I think is in some ways completely timeless. It is a movie called The Heavenly Kid.
Yo, Dori, but for time, it's on there. It's on there to watch and recommend.
So you know it?
Oh, do I know it? It's right up there with Mask for me. It's kind of the same wheelhouse. Oh, Dori, tell the people what they are missing.
It's such a great film. It's such a great film. Guys, it's on YouTube. Go watch it immediately. The copy is decent, very decent. Maybe not for a big screen TV, but watch it on your laptop. And This is a movie from 1985. It's one of those where it's got like just enough magic in it to make it like really fun and like kiddie friendly and all that kind of stuff. But it's also got some, grown up stuff going on. Basically, in a nutshell, it's the 1960s. This kid's at high school. He dies in a stupid accident. I'm not even going to get into the detail. It's stupid. He dies.
Oh, Dori, they were racing for Pink Slip. They were racing cars. That's how
they were racing. It was like a chicken type thing. They named it something else. I can't remember what they called it, but they did name it something else. Where it was like these cars are racing towards this huge. What was it?
It's a gorge. It's a gorge. So it's like the edge of a cliff, and kind of you had to the one who was going to pull out first.
Yes.
But
so the cars are going, and you've got to jump out of the car before the car goes over the edge. The car is going to go over the edge, either with you in it or with you outside of it. Oh, it's the quarry. That was it. It was the quarry. And this guy, he can't get out of the car. He was wearing a bracelet. It gets stuck on the indicator thing on the car, and he can't get out of the car in time, and he dies horribly. And the next thing, he's on this train, and he's going, what we assume, towards heaven, but he can't get straight into heaven. He has to complete a task first, and they send him back, kind of thing, to complete his task. But they send him back 20-something years later. Well, we're thinking it's 20-something years later, right? Because this happened in the 60s, and he ends up back in 1985.
Well, this happened. This happened a lot in the 80s, and it's kind of repeating itself now. So a lot of movies had late 50s, early 60s throwbacks. So a lot of our shows are having the same kind of late 80s, early 90s, because that's the generation making movies. So you saw that a lot, and songs from the 50s and all that were showing up in 80s movies. So it was kind of ish 20 years. But this guy's greaser. He's like a greaser Danny Zuko type guy, right? With the rolled up jeans.
He's like total with the comb and the grease in the hair and all that kind of stuff. Kind of like a biker look. Imagine Grease, exactly from Grease. By the way, it turns out to be less than 20 years, but I'm not going to give the spoiler about why. And so he pitches up in the 80s, and all he knows is he died as a teenager in the 60s. The world is completely different, and it's glorious 80s. The clothes, the hair, all of it. It's glorious, glorious, glorious. He has to help this kid achieve this kind of mission. There's a little bit of magic involved, which is always, and it amazed me, Paulo, because I last watched this show in the 80s. I have not watched this movie since then, and I remembered so many scenes. I knew exactly what was coming. I was like turning to my kid and going, oh my God, watch this part. It's so cool. And I just remembered so much of it, and it's still great. But one of the cheesiest, most awesome things about it is the soundtrack. It has the cheesiest soundtrack ever. You have to play like the main theme song just a little bit. I've put the link there for you. Just listen to the cheesiness.
Oh, Heavenly Kid, Out on the Edge by John Fiore. If you've never heard of him, he's that guy who was nobody. So don't worry about it.
I mean, who knows? But the whole soundtrack is so cheesy. There's even like cheesy ballads, and because essentially it's like a little bit of a love story. It's quite a chick flick in a way. It's really fun. The most well-known actor in it that you would probably know is this woman who plays his girlfriend, and then the mom of the kid who he has to help. And that is, I literally cannot say her surname, Jane Kazmaradzak, whatever. She played the mom in Malcolm in the Middle. That's where you would know her from. The mom from Malcolm in the Middle.
Okay,
yes.
Right.
The rest are like literal who, and I don't think they ever went on to make anything great, except, I lie. The kid ended up doing the Iron Eagle movies. He's the main kid in the Iron Eagle movies.
Hey.
So, yeah.
Hey.
So,
nothing wrong.
That's his claim to fame. It's just so fun. Just watch it. There's no reason not to watch it. It's
spoiler alert, the kid he finds, is it his kid?
Yeah. Well, okay, so yes, so that's what I didn't want to give away, right? It is his kid. So if he dies when he's in high school, and this kid is in high school, he definitely went back less than 20 years later. But the way the movie plays out, it seems like it's at least 20 years later. And even my kid was like, this movie can't do maths. And I'm like, I know, but let's just forget about the fact that the maths is wrong and just enjoy it.
It is. It's one of those, while we watch that movie so many times, it's one of those staples that our pay TV service in South Africa had, Mnet. It was on like twice a week at 7 o'clock during the week on Mnet.
But you know where I first saw it, Paolo? I did not see it on Mnet. I first saw it as a kid at my grandparents in Randfontein on Bop TV.
Jeez.
I definitely watched it on Bop TV.
Wow. Listen. Bop TV, there's so much to unpack there. So that movie, Heavenly Kid, is outrageous. I saw when I was going through that list, I put it down. I was like, oh God, I've got to come back to this movie. I'm so glad you did. We are going to give you the link to it on that 80 Show Facebook page.
Yes.
80 Show SA Facebook page. Let's have a quick song break, and then I'm going to give you my movie that I think it's illegal. I think if you watch this movie, you're going to get cancelled.
I can't wait.
Welcome back to that 80 Show, Dori, with a great movie, The Heavenly Kid. You know what? The second you see 1 second of it, you go, I've seen this movie. I've seen it, and I loved it. It's one of those.
Exactly.
You know, it probably came out the same time as like All Dogs Go to Heaven and things like that. I think probably they linked it together. That whole concept was floating around. So on my movie, Dori, last week I said to you, I'm going to give you a choice of movie I'm going to recommend. Judd Nelson or C. Thomas Howell. Which one do you want? And you chose Judd Nelson, right? Brat Pack Judd Nelson. Now, C. Thomas Howell was also Brat Pack, but he wasn't as bratty as everyone else. He was the nice boy.
Yeah.
And one of your favorites, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was in Secret Admirer, which I've spoken about on the show, one of my favorite movies from the 80s. He was also in The Outsiders, of course, but he was very young in The Outsiders.
So he was.
Oh my God, I know exactly what movie you're doing. I know exactly which one. If you're saying it should be illegal, I know which. Oh my God, I know what movie you're doing.
Oh, yes.
There's only one that he did that is so cancelable.
Yes.
I saw it on the big screen. When it came out, and I loved it.
Everyone did, Dori. Everyone did. And shame, I know your name.
Oh, it's Soul Man, isn't it?
It is indeed a movie called Soul Man. Now, Dori, I'm so glad you've seen it, so you can fill in bits and pieces. You're going to remember everything as it comes along. By the way, have you seen C. Thomas Howell recently? Yes,
he was in what was that TV series with all the boys, the criminals? I can't think what it's called, but it's like a show. It's like a family of, they're all criminals, and he plays the one guy's girlfriend's father. Who works for the government. And I did not recognize him. I saw his name in the credits and I went, oh my God. And then I had to go back and try and find him in the show. And then when I saw him, I was like, holy shit. Because he is like ripped. He's got totally white hair.
Looks like a wizard.
He is ripped.
He always was, though. He always was. Like, if you Google image search, C. Thomas Howell, right? And like straight away, him as a youngster, like, you see, Dori, you can hear that. Dori's searching. She's searching.
I'm doing it.
With a smooth young chest, as he had in his younger days, and then looking very, very divorced dad thirst trap in his current days. So, we'll see. Okay.
I would go there.
Okay.
I would go there.
We got to get, Dori, just come back. I know you went there. Come back.
I want to find the name of that series that he's in. Jeez. Animal Kingdom, great show.
Okay, I would never have watched that. So
good.
See, it doesn't fall into my wheelhouse. Not based in the 80s and longer than 25 minutes. It's not my...
Really good.
Right. So this movie, Soul Man, okay, here's the premise.
Ooh.
He is a kid, wants to go to university, and he can't get in, okay? And he finds out that there are now affirmative action places open for what he wants to study. So this is, in the 80s, you're going, oh, this is the funny thing about this movie. and about the reaction to it at the time. So he decides, Dori, he's now going to blackface, right, to get in and take this affirmative action position.
Yeah, no problem with that whatsoever.
How do you remember how he blackfaces, Dori?
Didn't he like go to the tanning salon for too long or something?
He overdosed on tanning pills. He took tanning pills so that he could go darker. I can't even say what he looks like. But anyway, cool. You can take this affirmative action place and get into the program. So he now lives his life in this college as a black kid, as a black student. I mean, James Earl Jones was in this fucking movie, Dori.
I mean, can you imagine how he feels?
Leslie Nielsen was in this movie, okay? And you know what? I think after the bombs that she made in the 80s, it's good that she went to sitcom fame. Because Julia Louis, is she Julia Louis or Julia Louis-Dreyfus? Elaine.
I think
Louise. She was in this movie.
I don't know, who knows?
She was in this movie as a student, right? So we're not talking low budget movie. It had a big budget. C. Thomas Howell basically could print money. And this movie kind of plays on a lot of stereotypes of black kids are good at basketball, or which he's not. And people are making black jokes and they go, oh, no offense, which he doesn't take. And they somehow in their misguided brains thought that they're being so progressive about this movie. And for the most parts, that was what the reviews were about. It wasn't that, wow, this movie is so goddamn cancelable. It was just that, oh, it's not that good a movie. I mean, Dori?
I mean, in retrospect, it's definitely not that good a movie. But I think at the time, it was really popular, really funny, did really well. I mean, like you said, it had an amazing cast. It was in inverted commas, clever plot. I mean, I don't know what to say without getting cancelled.
So the thing is that it's not just in time that we've gone, oh, this movie was terrible. Spike Lee, who was kind of like up and coming, so he has kind of just broken through. He went ballistic against this movie, would just protest against it, just would not have a good thing to say about it. The NCAA, which was the African American college, college association, they protested the movie, but like undeterred, it was still seen as like, oh, it's just, it's not that good a movie. Nobody saw what was going on here until NAACP. They rallied against it. Apologies for not getting that right. They rallied against it. They rallied against the university where it was shot. It was just so it was caused a lot of trouble at the time, but yeah, whatever. We're just gonna make it. Oh boy. So Dori, I mean, you would have remembered watching it. I'm sure I watched it, but it's so weird because
I remember seeing it on the big screen very clearly. Yeah.
And did it strike you then that like this movie is fucked?
No.
So weird.
No.
But it just shows you how and I mean, even to the point that C. Thomas Howell, his first wife, who played his girlfriend, African-American girlfriend in this movie, was his first wife. They got married. So even became his wife, went, I find nothing. I'm sure they did, like at Pillow Talk going, I'm not crazy about what we did here. Oh God. Listen, the blowback, and years later, I mean, the most damning article is off Vice. Now, Vice are not going to miss an opportunity to rip apart something like this. We're going to post that up so you can look at it. There's a couple of, even the soundtrack was weird. It's just weird. Looking it back. And the whole thing about it is that it was evidently done with no malice.
I don't know. It's so weird because, I mean, if I think about it, it came out in 1986, right? So I would have been 13-ish.
Yeah.
I was very aware. It wasn't like I was politically unaware of the world, and especially we were growing up in apartheid South Africa.
Yeah.
I was very aware of the issues. And yet that movie did not put a red flag in my head. It's like, what?
So weird.
So crazy.
I mean, and listen, it was just a movie, and listen, it was of the times, because in one scene he ends up in jail with Irish prisoners. And there is a complete take on, the old school paddy wagon, Irish stereotype. So it was just, but again, it's so weird. Like, people were so blinkered that nothing was done with malice. It was just like, oh, we're just going to make fun of these people because they're not us, or they're tropes, or it's an easy laugh or an easy gag. Surprisingly, considering all the furore around things like Little Britain and how many shows have been taken off, you can still readily and quite easily find Soul Man everywhere. It's on all the major streaming platforms. If you want to rent it, hire it, you can get it.
Really, without a disclaimer or a little piece to camera before from the cast nowadays, saying we know that this is problematic.
I didn't.
Nothing.
True. I didn't check it, because I just checked where it's available. I saw it in most places. I wonder if it doesn't have some sort of trigger warning or of a thing going up guys,
a contextualization.
It was the 80s. Yeah. It was the 80s.
Yeah. That's our excuse. It was the 80s.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, God, so weird. It reminded me, and this Vice article actually says the same, of I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, with Adam Sandler, terrible movie before he became Oscar-worthy actor, where him and Kevin James, they pretend to be their firemen.
I've never watched it. Literally never watched it.
Oh my God, It is a nightmare. It is a nightmare. I don't understand how this could ever have been funny, in that they're a fireman and they're best friends, and then I think Adam Sandler's wife dies and he's going to lose his pension or benefit. So the two of them pretend to be married, a gay couple, pretend to be married so that he can stand his pension. And then it becomes a whole thing. And it's just, it was a stupid premise. B, it was, if you're going to do a stupid premise, it needs to be funny. And it was not funny whatsoever. Reminded me a lot of that. But Soul Man, it's still out there. There's a morbid curiosity about watching it, I think. I think you just got to, most people won't be able to get through it because it's just fucking hell. But go have a look at it. It's interesting. It's definitely an examination and an understanding of maybe where our brains were then, in nowhere, I suppose.
I think I actually am curious to watch it now, with obviously that all that knowledge and the new filter and all that. To watch it now and actually see how bad or good or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of curious now.
I know. I've probably piqued interest in it. But no, it is interesting to watch. It's so cringe. It is outrageously cringe. But it is interesting to watch, especially the parts where they thought they were landing a message, where they thought they were taking on a trope. Because there is definitely parts like that where they do think they walked away. Fuck, we've made a stand here. We've landed a message. And maybe that's why it didn't get cancelled, because I think they thought they were doing good. I don't know. I don't know.
I'd love to interview the cast now about it. I wonder if such an interview exists anyway.
It has to be. Let's go. There has to be something where they do talk about it. Has to be. I mean, the director of the movies always stood up for it. Has always stood by and said, we made a movie that had a message. We believe we landed that message. Hey, listen, and that interview is probably from pre the past 7 or 8 years. So, I mean, maybe, that's also contextualize that. But that's the movie. I'm not saying watch it. I'm telling you it exists. It was a film, starred one of Dori's favorites. He somehow didn't get cancelled. But that's how handsome he is. That he didn't get.
I'm going to actually Google and see if he's said anything about it since, or if any of the cast have said anything about it since. I'm going to do a little bit of a rabbit hole thing when I have time about this.
Well, off you go. Off you go. This has been That 80s Show. Everything from the show that we haven't put up already. I mean, we did play 80s bingo. Dori, of everything. I mean, I know already your favorite thing you learned from the show is Andre Agassi wore a hairpiece.
I mean, is there any contest to that?
I can't believe you don't know that.
I can't believe I didn't know it.
So this is That 80 Show. Everything That 80 Show essay on Facebook. If you're looking for our previous episodes, cliffcentral.com/That 80 Show. You can find all our episodes there. Loads of interviews, loads of fun stuff. Sorry about your technical difficulties, Dori, but we did get through the show. Thanks for joining me, and goodbye.
Goodbye.